Alrighty, our next question is from Jamie over in Sesser.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie. You're on the line.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks.
I just was wondering, the return to office mandate, specifically regarding the Marion VA, is there still going to be any exemptions allowed on that? I'm seeing that there's jobs being posted that are remote jobs, and I know that there's been some departments that have been granted exemptions and some that aren't, and I was just wondering if there might be any more.
Let me tell you that I am working with the secretary on those, listening to his process. The return to work are those jobs that you need to be there in person. If we are in a time when if you can do something online, and especially with rural areas, then those are jobs that are being looked at on the opportunity to do that. And the reason being is because, and for some, to tell you the truth, we could then start looking also at possibly reducing our overall footprint on real estate. If we can have less offices and everything, in-person offices. And so we've been watching that, and they came to realize that there are those, and I'll be working with the secretary on that with the VA. But there's other agencies too that there is some type of away from the office work that just has to be. So yes, thank you for that question.
All right, our next question will come from Christina over in Gardendale.
Hi, Christina.
Good evening.
Christina, hello.
Hello.
Are you on the
Hello?
line? Yes, you're on the line.
All right. I'm pretty concerned about this one big beautiful bill that was passed, but also your role in handing over powers of Congress to the executive. And I'm just curious, for you, what exactly do you see the role of the federal government as doing for the people? You know, as the caller mentioned before, all of these social programs are being drastically slashed. And in Southern Illinois, we have quite a federal presence. There's the VA, but also all of our public lands that are down here. And the atmosphere of fear and chaos that the administration has purposely instilled in them is just, it's criminal down here. It's lamentable, it's wrong, and I don't think that you should be supporting all of these efforts to be actively harming our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers, our constituents in this area. So to repeat my question, yes, what do you see the role of the federal government as playing, and why are you making or aiding these decisions to slash programs that hurt people in our part of the state?
Because I'm not slashing programs. We realize that there's waste in certain programs. I will guarantee you that we will still have our workers that are going to be at the U.S. Forestry. We still have Marion Prison. You know, we've still got our workers in our prison. We'll still have the same amount of workers at VA, except for anyone that some of them might go through attrition, but we're not going to reduce any services. Like any household, because one thing is as well, the taxpayers of Southern Illinois, and this was not handing more over to an administration. It was actually taking back control because the Congress themselves passed it. And we passed it in the way of the rules of the House, and we passed it to the president, who signed it, just like every other way that bills have been passed over the years. Now, just because we reduce a budget for a particular agency doesn't mean that it is reduced or got rid of. Now, that's not the case with PBS and NPR, and it is. There are very few others, but most of this is done to be wise with your tax dollars. And when I tell you that, I mean, it's getting kind of interesting how the calls got loaded up tonight, but you do have to understand that a majority of my district really does support this.